We are so close to being done. Woohoo! All right, or at least this side. So the next thing you're going to do is once you have this nice and tight, you are going to crimp your beads. Now all you're going to do is you're going to take these little pliers here, and you're going to grab onto the little silver bead, and of course you've made sure these are all nice and tight and secure, and you've got that nice rounded edge. You're going to move that over, get that out of the way. You're going to place this on top of the bead, and then you are just going to press down, and that's going to crimp the bead. Do you see how it made that bead flat? Okay, it's no longer round, it's flat. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Move the split ring, grab onto the crimp bead, and I'm going to press down. Now that is what is holding all of these strings together. Now this next part is really, really important. You do not want to make a mistake on this. You want to find the string that is your weft string. So not the string that we've been going through the beads, the string that was coming out the side, okay? The string that's coming out this last bead on the end. I am going to suggest that you get a piece of tape and you just wrap tape around it, and you just kind of mark it. Just mark it so that you don't accidentally cut it. Because the next step, you're going to get rid of all of these wires. You don't need these anymore. All you're going to need is this to finish weaving in here to kind of get rid of this, and then we'll clip it. So I'm going to take a very small pair of scissors, and I suggest you use scissors that I will provide for you. Because if you use the scissors in the classroom, they're not as skinny, they can't get into small spaces. So I'm going to go right up to the edge, and I'm going to just snip that wire. It's really important that you do not cut any wire that is not these two that are hanging out. So for instance, you can see that there are some filament. You can see some of the filament or the wire coming in the fishing line in through there. You don't want to cut any of this here, because then it's all going to fall apart. So make sure you literally are just cutting those two strings. That is so, so, so important. And I probably should be doing this when it is flat on a surface, but I'm trying to show you with the video. So I'm holding this up. I'm making sure I'm not cutting any of this. I'm only cutting the two that are coming out of the bead. All right. Now that you have this finished, this end finished, you are going to take your weft thread. We're going to pull it out of the tape. And you're going to take this weft thread, and we are going to thread it with a needle. And I think this is really long. I've got a lot of here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut some of this because I don't think I'm going to actually weave all that. So I'm just going to make it easier to handle. So I still have probably a good foot or so, ruler's length. And I am going to thread my needle, if I can get my needle thread. Gosh, I'm getting old. Thread my needle. Why can I not thread my needle? Did I get it? Oh, I think I got it. All right, so I'm going to thread the needle. My warp thread is coming out from this side. So this is what you're going to do next, okay? I am going to take my thread that's here, and I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to come out, I'm going to have my needle come out the third, and I might need to use these to kind of pull the needle through because it's kind of tight. Be just very gentle with it. You might need to use a smaller needle, which I may have. I've got all these strings. Oh, ouch! Don't do that. So now you're going to pull this through, And then I'm going to go where this came out, right there, where this came out. I'm going to go take my needle and I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab underneath and grab some of that wire, and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to make sure that I leave a circle. So I'm going through, leaving a circle right there, and I'm going to thread the needle through the circle. So basically I'm making, this is kind of like a sewing knot. So I'm going to make that knot there, and then I'm going to continue threading the needle through the other beads on that same row. Okay, now I'm going to flip it again. Now I'm on my second row. I'm going to go to the third row, and I might go through 4 beads. And then take my needle, try and go underneath to grab the wire. There's my circle. I'm going to go through the circle with my needle and pull, making that knot, and then continue going through the rest of the seed beads. So you are going to continue this as far down as you can until you basically you want to go through enough times so that this wire is really this line is really secure. So I probably would go 5 or 6 rows if you can, and then when you get to the end, all you're going to do is you would create your knot wherever you have that knot, where it would lift up, where you would tighten that. Take your scissors and just snip that very edge, again making sure that you don't cut any of the line that's in here. You only want to snip this wire right here that would be coming out of the center. So that is how you will finish your bracelet. So the next step we did, take my needle off. The next step is we did this side. So the easiest thing probably for you to do is to go back, re-watch the steps again when you work on this side, only instead of adding the split ring to your work, you will add this lobster claw. You know what, I am going to do another video showing adding the lobster claw, because I realize this is very loose in through here, and this moves, whereas your lobster claw is going to go right in between these two. So I will do one more video. I will do all of this, and then when I get to this point, I will show you how to add the lobster claw to make sure that that stays, goes in the middle and is not flopping around like this, because you're not going to want that. It just can't happen. So go ahead and finish this side and get yourself up to the point where you have to add the lobster claw, and then watch the final video on how to add the lobster claw, and then you're done. Fill out your evaluation form and tape your bracelet to your evaluation form, and you're going to be turning everything in for a grade. So you guys are doing great. Nice patience, and keep going. You're almost there.